Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved. Your emotions are not your allies, they are the enemy's foot soldiers. Each unguarded feeling is a breach in your defenses, a gap through which chaos floods your mind. Anger, jealousy, fear, they are the weapons of those who seek to control you. To wield power, you must first master yourself. The battlefield is not the world around you, it is the terrain of your mind. Every thought, every impulse is a soldier in this internal war. If you do not command your mind, it will be overrun. Victory begins with the conquest of your own thoughts. Identify the enemies within. The distractions, the impulses, the doubts. They are the spies and traitors in your court, sowing discord and weakening your resolve. Each moment of awareness is a shield raised against their sabotage. Recognize them, confront them, and expel them from your dominion. Feel nothing, control everything. Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved. Your mind is the throne upon which your power rests. Every thought is a subject in your court, every emotion a messenger bearing news from the realm. If you do not rule with absolute authority, your kingdom will fall into chaos. Crown rationality as your sovereign. Let logic sit upon the throne, commanding your actions with unwavering clarity. Instinct may serve as a loyal knight, swift and decisive, but it must never usurp the throne. Align them, or risk being overthrown by the tides of impulse. Guard your court against intruders, mental clutter, and idle gossip as spies in your midst, sowing discord and confusion. Vigilance is mandatory. Permit no distraction to breach your walls. Each moment of awareness is a shield raised against their sabotage. Every decision reflects the stability of your reign. Hesitation is weakness. It invites rebellion. Act with the confidence of a ruler who knows his will is law. Indecision is the first step toward tyranny's collapse. Feel nothing, control everything. The day is a battlefield, and the first move decides the war. Every morning is an assault on your mind, a clash between order and chaos. The moment your eyes open, the campaign begins. This is not a simple stretch of hours. It is a war for control, a test of who will dictate your destiny. The enemy is not outside. It is the inertia in your limbs, the half-thoughts that pull you toward distraction, the endless scroll of notifications that wants to make you reactive instead of dominant. To conquer the day, you must seize the first hour as a general seizes the high ground, decisive, ruthless, and unrelenting. Ritual is your weapon. The way you start determines the tempo of your entire campaign. A disciplined rise, a calculated preparation, a strategic assessment of your resources. These are not mere habits. They are preemptive strikes against the chaos that waits for the unready. Athletes, leaders, and warriors of history understood this. Julius Caesar marched his legions before dawn, not because it was convenient, but because control comes from initiative. Each morning, you choose whether to be commander or conscript in your own life. Set your routines, sharpen your focus, and claim dominance before the world even notices your presence. Preemptive strikes mean acting before the enemy can set the pace. Do not allow the day to dictate your movements. Dictate the day, plan your strategy the night before. Map your objectives, anticipate resistance, and arm yourself with clarity. When your schedule is a weapon and your intentions precise, distractions cannot pierce your defenses. Chaos will always attempt to storm your gates. The unexpected email, the provocative message, the temptation to linger in lethargy. But if you have prepared, you strike first, hard and unyielding. Every second spent reacting is territory lost. Be proactive, not passive. Your environment is your artillery. A cluttered room, a disorganized desk, a chaotic digital landscape. These are enemy battalions arrayed against your focus. Clear your surroundings, design them to serve you, not to scatter your attention. Place tools of productivity within reach, remove distractions, create signals of discipline. The battlefield favors those who control the terrain. A tidy space becomes a fortress. A chaotic space becomes a trap. The modern world is filled with ambushes disguised as convenience, and only those who arrange their surroundings strategically survive unscathed. This is more than habit. It is a declaration of sovereignty over your life. The first hour is your throne room, your command center. Enter it with authority. Rise with purpose. Move with intention. Every action you take before the world stirs into motion, shapes how the world perceives and reacts to you. Leaders are made before the sun fully rises. Winners dictate the terms of engagement. Losers wait for orders that never come. Dominate your morning, and you dominate your day. Strike decisively, organize ruthlessly, act deliberately. Every distraction ignored is territory claimed. Every habit executed is armor forged. Every early victory compounds into momentum that cannot be overturned. The battlefield of the day bows to those who strike first and strike smart. Feel nothing, control everything. Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. Stillness is your greatest weapon, and silence is your unseen armor. In a world that celebrates noise, the one who moves with quiet precision dominates. The predator waits, not out of hesitation, but because timing is the difference between victory and ruin. Every heartbeat of patience is a sharpened blade. Every unspoken word a shield against exposure. Your enemies rush and stumble, guided by impulse and ego, while you remain calculating, untouchable. Observation precedes action. Watch before you strike. The battlefield is full of those who reveal their weaknesses without knowing it. They chatter, they react, they betray themselves with every movement. The clever ruler learns not to respond to every provocation. He studies patterns, anticipates moves, and lets the enemy's own missteps do the work for him. While others act recklessly, you gain insight, understanding where power truly lies. Do not be tempted to act out of impatience. The one who moves last often moves best. Calm is your armor. In the heat of conflict, in the midst of chaos, your emotional restraint becomes a wall no attack can breach. Fear, anger, excitement, these are the signals of vulnerability. The world hunts the reactive. It bows to the composed. When you remain unshaken, you project authority and conceal intent. Your enemies cannot predict your moves, and they falter because they cannot read your mind. Let every action be deliberate, every gesture controlled, every word weighed. Presence is power, and power is silent. Time is your sword. Seconds stretch into advantage when wielded with precision. Strike too soon, and you miss the opportunity. Strike too late, and momentum slips through your fingers. The disciplined know that patience amplifies every attack. Each pause, each moment of stillness becomes a calculated maneuver, a setup for dominance. History is full of warriors who conquered by waiting. The fox waits for the rabbit. The general waits for the tide of battle. Your enemies act immediately. You act when the moment is perfect. Harness stillness, and you become untouchable. The world moves with haste, but you bend time to your will. Silence sharpens your senses. Patience strengthens your resolve, and observation reveals the hidden flaws of others. You do not need to strike first. You need to strike right. Control the tempo of every engagement. Make the enemy believe they are advancing while you set the trap that will end the war. Master the art of stillness. Wait. Watch. Strike with precision. Every moment of calm is a step closer to absolute control. Every measured pause is a weapon forged. The patient dominates where the reckless fail. Feel nothing, control everything. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. Ruthlessness is not cruelty, it is strategy. Power is a throne, and thrones are not inherited. They are seized, maintained, and defended with precision. To maintain dominion over your life, you must eliminate what weakens you. Every habit that dulls your focus, every person who drains your energy, every distraction that clouds your vision. They are enemy forces occupying your territory. Tolerate them, and they will conquer you. Purge them, and your path to mastery becomes clear. Exile weakness without hesitation. History is a testament to those who removed liability before it destroyed them. Alexander the Great left no room for dissent within his ranks, and Caesar struck decisively against traitors. In your life, habits of procrastination, indulgence, and doubt are just as dangerous. Remove them with surgical precision. Friends who gossip, colleagues who sabotage, influences that diminish your resolve. These are spies in your court. Identify them, confront them, and exile them from your kingdom. Power tolerates no mediocrity. Sacred priorities are the next battlefield. Focus is the weapon that separates the conqueror from the conquered. Each goal is a citadel, each task a battalion. Guard them fiercely. Allow nothing to breach your front lines. Modern life is a jungle of notifications, temptations, and interruptions, each one designed to scatter your forces. Treat these intrusions as enemy artillery. Decide what matters most, and commit your energy there. Every distraction ignored is territory secured. Every irrelevant pursuit abandoned is a victory claimed. Relentless execution ensures survival. Decision is a silent traitor. Hesitation invites betrayal, both from others and from your own doubts. The world rewards the decisive, those who strike while others waver. Machiavelli observed that fortune favors the bold. Leaders succeed because they act, not because they hesitate. When opportunity appears, seize it with precision. When action is required, move without pause. Relentless does not mean reckless, it means calculated, unwavering, unstoppable. Let hesitation die in your court. This is not about anger or cruelty. It is about mastery. Every removed distraction, every disciplined habit, every prioritized goal, every decisive act fortifies your throne. Your mind becomes a fortress, your focus an army, your execution the hammer that shatters opposition. The world respects those who ruthlessly protect their sovereignty. Weakness tolerated is power lost. Strength enforced is destiny claimed. Cut what diminishes you. Guard what matters. Act decisively. Every eliminated distraction is a step closer to unchallengeable authority. Every decisive choice reinforces your reign. Hesitate, and the world moves past you. Strike, and the battlefield becomes yours. Feel nothing, control everything. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality because they touch the senses. Power is as much about perception as it is about action. The world does not respond to truth alone. It responds to the image of strength you project. Your presence is the first battlefield, and how you are seen dictates the terms of engagement. Even when uncertainty gnaws at your mind, you must wear the armor of confidence. Let hesitation hide behind a mask. Let your exterior speak with the authority your interior is still forging. Appear unshakable, and the world bends before you. The emperor's face is not merely an expression, it is weaponry. A steady gaze, measured movements, and unwavering tone communicate dominion. Leaders throughout history understood this principle. Augustus projected calm authority while consolidating power across Rome, masking doubt behind ritual and ceremony. In modern life, the same applies in boardrooms, in negotiations, in moments of high stakes. Your confidence shields you, turning uncertainty into an invisible fortress. Wear certainty as armor, and let no one glimpse the cracks beneath. Calculated deception is the strategist's tool. Reveal only what strengthens your position. Conceal your fears, your doubts, your indecisions. The predator never signals its intent until the strike is unavoidable. Every revealed weakness is a doorway for others to exploit. Mask your strategy behind appearances, misdirect the curious, and let the world underestimate you. Strategy is not dishonesty, it is mastery of timing, of information, impression. Control what is seen, and you control what is believed. Authority by presence is an unspoken force. Before a word is uttered, before a command is given, dominance is felt. Posture, tone, and demeanor communicate allegiance and demand respect. The general on the battlefield, the CEO in the boardroom, the diplomat in negotiation, each wields presence as a silent weapon. Stand tall, move deliberately, speak with measured cadence. Let your presence declare your position even before your voice is heard. Those around you align instinctively. They follow the visible throne. Master the mask, and reality follows perception. Appear confident when uncertain. Conceal doubt when the world watches. Command attention before speaking. Dominate presence before issuing orders. The battlefield of influence is won by those who can make others believe they are already victorious. Your mask is your first line of offense, the shield that prevents attack, the lens through which power is interpreted. Project authority. Conceal fear. Command without words. Every gesture, every glance, every tone is a weapon in the war for allegiance. Let your mask become inseparable from your mastery. Perception is power, is authority. Feel nothing, control everything. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. The fiercest battles are not fought on distant fields, but within the shadows of your own mind. Your greatest enemy is the unrefined self, the part that hesitates, doubts, and sabotages before the world can even challenge you. To dominate the external world, you must first unleash the inner assassin, silent, precise, and relentless, against the weaknesses that lurk within. This is not a metaphor, it is strategy. The predator does not wait for prey to strike him. He moves first, strikes cleanly, and eliminates threats before they materialize. Self-scrutiny is your blade. Examine every thought, every impulse, every decision with merciless clarity. Weakness tolerated becomes rot in your foundation. Ask yourself the hard questions. Where did hesitation creep in? Where did indulgence override intention? Each flaw exposed is an enemy revealed. The warrior who cannot critique himself is blind on the battlefield. Arm yourself with honesty. Strike at self-deception before it manifests as failure. Habit is the terrain on which battles are fought daily. Procrastination, distraction, indulgence, they are insurgents that erode your empire silently. The inner assassin leaves no refuge for them. Destroy them with habitual killings. Wake with discipline. Train your mind like a soldier drills in arms. Execute plans with unwavering precision. Small daily victories compound into unassailable strength. The modern world tempts with ease and convenience, but your throne is won by those who refuse comfort in favor of mastery. Fear is your target. It waits, like a predator in the grass, ready to paralyze or mislead. Name it, confront it, and neutralize it before it strikes. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These are the silent enemies that disarm the unprepared. Face them openly. dissect them, and render them powerless. The assassin does not let hesitation linger. When fear arises, act with measured violence, removing its influence permanently. The inner assassin operates unseen, but leaves visible results. Sharper focus, unwavering discipline, decisive action. Every moment spent refining yourself is a battle won. Every flaw eliminated is territory secured. The external world bows to the one who has mastered internal warfare. Those who ignore this battle will find themselves overrun by their own indecision and indulgence. Hone your mind. Strike at weakness. Kill distraction. Confront fear. Let the inner assassin be your constant companion, neutralizing threats before they manifest. In this relentless internal war, victory is total and survival is absolute. Feel nothing, control everything. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be a lion to frighten wolves, and a fox to recognize traps. Within you dwells a predator, a wolf that hungers not for comfort, but for dominance. This is the primal self, the part of you driven by instinct, ambition, and relentless pursuit. To master the world, you must first master this internal predator. Feed it with purpose, train it with discipline, and unleash it only on the worthy prey of your goals. Let hunger become precision. Let desire transform into strategy, and let restraint sharpen your claws. Discipline the predator within. The wolf obeys only a master who commands with clarity. Idle urges, fleeting distractions, and indulgent habits are chains that weaken its power. Harness your ambition, direct it with ruthless focus, and let it hunt relentlessly. History is filled with those who tamed their instincts, generals who trained daily while armies slept, artists who denied fleeting pleasure to create immortal work. Your hunger is a tool, sharpen it with ritual practice and relentless self-control. Controlling hunger is strength. Deprivation is not punishment, it is sharpening. Excess dulls the mind, softens the will, and clouds judgment. The wolf that eats at every temptation becomes sluggish and predictable. Starve it of unnecessary indulgence, and it will run faster, strike harder, and sense opportunity before others even notice. Hunger focuses attention, fuels relentless energy, and primes the mind to strike decisively when the moment comes. Exploiting weakness in others requires detachment. The predator observes, studies, and identifies vulnerabilities without emotion. The distracted, the overconfident, the indulgent, these are prey, and your success depends on recognizing them without attachment or hesitation. History remembers those who acted with clarity while others were blinded by desire. Tacticians who manipulated rivals without mercy, leaders who anticipated betrayal and neutralized it before it materialized. Your instinct, disciplined and hungry, will see what others overlook. Feed the wolf, and it will feed you. Let every disciplined act, every controlled desire, and every calculated strike sharpen your dominance. The predator within is both tool and shield, energy and weapon, instinct and intellect combined. To master others, you must first master the hunger inside. Let it burn bright, directed, and unstoppable. Feed your ambition, starve distraction. Hunt relentlessly. Every moment of controlled hunger, every recognition of opportunity strengthens your dominion. Let the wolf within guide your strike, sharpen your senses, and dominate the battlefield of life. Feel nothing, control everything. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of foresight. Life is a chessboard, and you are both a player and strategist. Every decision, every interaction, Every choice is a move with consequences that ripple across the board. To survive and dominate, you must think several moves ahead, predicting the shifts, anticipating the counterattacks, and understanding the true value of each piece under your control. The battlefield is not just physical, it is tactical, psychological, and relentless. Anticipate your opponents. Observe patterns, study behaviors, and read intentions before they are acted upon. Those who react without foresight are always one step behind, trapped by their own impulsiveness. Great leaders, from Napoleon to modern CEOs, built empires by predicting actions before they happened, controlling tempo, and forcing adversaries into positions of disadvantage. In your life, this translates to calculated decisions, careful observation, and patience. Never let yourself be dictated by others' moves. Dictate the game. Sacrifice for victory. Not every piece will survive, and not every opportunity is worth pursuing. Some goals, habits, or even relationships are expendable when weighed against the preservation and advancement of your throne. Every move must be intentional, every loss a calculated trade. In history, generals have abandoned territories to secure decisive victories. Leaders have let minor allies falter to protect the core of their power. Recognize what you can lose and what is essential. Sacrifice without regret is a sign of mastery. Dominance lies in calculation, not raw strength. Patience is your ally. Meticulous planning is your sword. Brute force can win a battle, but strategy wins the war. The chess master does not rush. He lures, entices, and manipulates the board until every opponent is positioned for inevitable defeat. Translate this to life: deliberate in speech, measured in action, and ruthless in your execution of plans. Every move must be intentional, every decision informed, and every pause used to gather insight. The chessboard of life rewards foresight, discipline, and clarity. Predict the moves of those around you. Sacrifice what is expendable for ultimate survival. Calculate with precision and patience. Let every action you take position you closer to dominance, while leaving your enemies blind to your strategy until it is too late. Play with foresight. Sacrifice without hesitation. Strike with precision. Every life decision is a move. Every move is a step toward mastery. Dominate the board. Feel nothing. Control everything. Whosoever wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Discipline is forged in the quiet hours, long before the world demands your attention. Your mind and body are weapons, and like any weapon, they must be honed, sharpened, and tested daily. Every morning, every repetition, every conscious choice to endure builds a fortress of will that cannot be breached. This is not luck, nor is it chance. It is ritual, a deliberate forging of iron within yourself. Without ritual, chaos seeps in. Without habit, power slips through your fingers like sand. Treat habit as armor. Each repeated action, each disciplined choice, strengthens your resilience. When the world assaults you with distraction, doubt, and provocation, your armor holds. Look at athletes, soldiers, or CEOs who rise before dawn, repeating the same motions with precision. They are not performing, they are building imperviousness. Your habits are shields. They guard against indecision and erosion of power. Refuse to let inconsistency weaken your blade. Engage in micro-battles, because victories compound. Every task completed on time, every commitment honored, every small goal achieved trains your mind for the ultimate campaigns. History is written by those who mastered the mundane before conquering the monumental. The warrior who perfects his stance in solitude moves with lethal precision on the battlefield. The strategist who plans methodically in silence gains leverage against chaos. Small victories are not insignificant. They are the scaffolding of unshakable control. Win your mornings, your hours, your minutes, and the world will bow to your strategy. Revere the sacred routine. Repetition carves strength into your subconscious, transforming effort into instinct. When stress arrives, when fear or fatigue attempts to sway you, your rituals act without thought. Your will moves with certainty. The emperor who rises before the court, the general who drills before battle, the predator who trains before the hunt, they all understand the magic of repeated discipline. The invisible hand of habit becomes the unseen engine behind every decisive strike, every calculated maneuver. Through iron-willed ritual, you eliminate hesitation. You replace doubt with action, weakness with strength, and chaos with order. Your mind becomes a fortress, your body a weapon, and your presence a signal that nothing can penetrate your resolve. Let each repetition, each controlled movement, each micro-victory be a declaration. You are master of yourself and your destiny. Build your armor, win your battles, honor your rituals. Power is not given. It is forged daily, relentlessly, without apology. Discipline is the forge of kings. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality, because they are guided by the eyes and touch. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few feel what you are. To become untouchable is to ascend beyond the reach of opinion, envy, and circumstance. You must cultivate a fortress around your mind, a shield that deflects provocation and manipulates events without ever revealing the hand that moves them. Your emotions are no longer a leash, they are tools to master strategy. Anger, doubt, or fear are weapons for others, but for you they are observed, studied, and never allowed to dictate action. The untouchable mind does not react. It calculates, it anticipates, it strikes only when victory is certain. Emotional immunity is your first line of defense. Every insult, every betrayal, every chaotic twist is met with calm precision. The predator in the wild waits, unreadable, for the opportune moment. Your enemies lash out, hoping to destabilize you, but your silence is a blade that cuts deeper than any scream. When you act without reaction, you are untouchable. Control your emotions as a general controls the field, with awareness, without compromise, without apology. Invisible influence is the mark of ultimate power. True mastery does not require spectacle. It flows through the world like water through cracks, reshaping events before anyone realizes what has occurred. Your victories are often unseen until the moment of consequence. History remembers the silent strategists, the unseen kings who moved entire nations without stepping into the light. Your presence is felt in decisions made, in alliances formed, in outcomes shaped long before the battlefield is revealed. Let your influence permeate subtly, relentlessly, invisibly. Let others fight their visible battles while you claim unseen dominion. Final sovereignty crowns the untouchable. Others bow not out of fear alone, but because inevitability radiates from your every action, your every stance, your every word. When you enter a room, a meeting, or a negotiation, you are the standard by which all else is measured. Your posture, tone, and calculated movements speak louder than any decree. Power, once cultivated internally, becomes undeniable externally. You move as a shadow of authority. Opposition folds, because the cost of resistance is already written in their minds. The untouchable does not need to prove. They exist as proof itself. To achieve this, commit to relentless internal mastery. Shield your mind from manipulation. Observe and study all forces, internal and external. Strike decisively when opportunity aligns with preparation. Cultivate presence that commands inevitability. Let others chase emotion and reaction, while you operate from the elevated plane of control. The untouchable does not bend, does not flinch, and does not succumb. Rise above fear, betrayal, and distraction. Move unseen, influence silently, and claim sovereignty before others even comprehend the game. Dominate the battlefield within and without until the world recognizes your inevitability. Untouchable is not a state of mind, it is a throne within. Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. At the apex of control, you are no longer a participant in the world. You are the axis around which it turns. Every morning ritual, every sharpened instinct, every ruthless decision, every mask of authority has fused into a single, unassailable force. The battles you waged within, the war against distraction, fear, indecision, and indulgence have been forged into weapons as precise as a knight's blade and as merciless as a general's command. You are not merely disciplined, you are distilled power concentrated into a form the world cannot touch, a predator whose shadow alone dictates behavior. The synthesis of battles is the first revelation. Your mind, your habits, your strategy, your very presence, each was a separate front, each a battlefield of its own. Now, they converge. Logic guides instinct with perfect alignment. Emotional control shields you from chaos, while patience sharpens timing into a lethal edge. Daily rituals are no longer mundane, they are drills in domination. Micro-battles whose cumulative victories carve absolute resilience into your subconscious. Each decision, each movement, each moment of stillness is no longer isolated. They interlock into a sequence that makes hesitation impossible, weakness obsolete, and chaos irrelevant. As the predator among prey, the world bends to your rhythm. Opponents move as if you have already calculated their paths. Allies act as though drawn by unseen currents, unaware that the current is you. Perception bends beneath your will. Influence flows silently, but it is unstoppable, like a tide rising before the sun, unnoticed until it reaches the peak and cannot be denied. You dictate the tempo, the narrative, the expectations of those around you. Fear is felt, but never expressed. Respect is given because the inevitability of your presence cannot be ignored. The hunter's eye sees all, anticipates all, and strikes only when victory is certain. There is no reaction, only orchestration. The final form of sovereignty is the crown of the apex. Absolute control over self manifests externally. Every action is deliberate, every silence calculated, every presence commanding. Others yield, not from immediate fear, but because they sense the inevitability radiating from your decisions. You have become the embodiment of strategic mastery, untouchable, unseen, unstoppable. When you walk into any arena, boardroom, battlefield, or social hierarchy, the air bends around you. Nothing distracts, nothing unsettles, nothing overpowers. Your mind is a throne, your habits armor, your decisions weapons, and your presence the law that others obey instinctively. To reach this state, commit relentlessly to every principle you have honed. Crown rationality over instinct. Conquer your mornings as battles. Wield stillness as a blade. Eliminate weakness with surgical precision. Master perception as armor. Strike at self-sabotage before it strikes you. Feed the hunger for excellence. Calculate like a chess master and fortify your will with ritualized discipline. Allow no emotion to dictate action. Let strategy govern each move. Observe, anticipate, and act with inevitability. Power flows through you because you have become the conduit of unbroken command. Failure at this stage is no longer merely personal. It is the surrender of potential. Indecision, reaction, and distraction are death. Victory is total only when mastery extends simultaneously inward and outward. When your influence is invisible yet undeniable. When your influence is invisible yet undeniable. The apex is not granted. It is seized through relentless, uncompromising execution. Rise now, merge every battle into one, become the predator that shapes the world, and claim sovereignty that none can challenge. Dominate your mind, your time, your actions, your presence, until all that remains is unbroken command. The world is no longer an arena of struggle. It is a stage for your inevitability. Control yourself, and the world bends. Whosoever wishes to be obeyed must know how to command himself first. Mastery is not a moment. It is a relentless daily ritual, a war waged every sunrise against weakness, distraction, and indulgence. Each morning you rise, you step onto a battlefield of habits. Your body, your mind, your focus tested with invisible opposition. The victories of yesterday count for nothing if you falter today. Daily vigilance is your sword. Discipline is your shield. Guard every action, every thought, every word, as if the fate of your empire depends on it, because it does. Complacency is the silent assassin. One lapse in focus, one surrender to comfort, one indulgence in distraction, and the world begins its quiet conquest over you. Power is not preserved by intention alone. It is earned, maintained, and sharpened continuously. The weak are betrayed, not by external enemies, but by their own hesitation, their own failure to enforce the rules they demand others follow. You have learned the methods, the rituals, the strategies, the masks, the inner assassins, but mastery without constant application is like a blade left to rust. Guard it, hone it, use it daily. Embody these principles in every breath, every movement, every decision. Make your presence a command, your silence a weapon, your habits the armor no chaos can pierce. Let no fear, no opinion, no circumstance dictate your course. Dominate your inner world first. The outer world will bend to the inevitability of your control. The mantra you carry is not empty words. It is the summoning of your unbroken sovereignty, the crystallization of every battle fought, every instinct disciplined, every fear confronted. Whisper it to yourself at the dawn, roar it through the trials of the day, and let it echo in the quiet moments when the world tests you most. Feel nothing, control everything. This is not a suggestion. This is a command. Make it flesh, make it thought, make it blood. Live as the architect of your reality, and let every action you take be a testament to unshakable mastery.